How organized harassment leads to mass violence. The cases of Aaron, Alexis, and Myron May. My name is Jalen Michael Sims, and I've been a victim of organized harassment / gang stalking since 2022, as far as I know. Since the fall of 2023, I've been tortured with a remote weapon that generates vibrations in body parts and objects. These vibrations are used to wake me up from sleep and keep me from sleeping, as well as can cause focus pain in small specific areas of my body, and has also been used to sexually assault me. In the fall of 2025, I start feeling painful muscle contractions / jolt sensations, along with extreme general pain in focused areas. The times and the specific body part shot indicate that there is an external source causing the painful sensations. I have reason to believe that, similar to me, Aaron, Alexis, the Washington Navy Yard shooter, and Myron May, the Florida State University shooter, were in the same harassment and torture program I am currently in, and that the goal of this program is to push innocent people towards violence. In a 2013 article by the New York Times, written by Michael S. Schmidt, titled "Gunman Said Electronic Brain Attacks Drove Him to Violence," FBI says, Schmidt discusses Aaron Alexis's electronic documents detailing remote torture using extremely low frequency waves, and citing that the harassment was the reason why he committed the Washington Navy Yard shooting. According to a 2013 press release by FBI Washington titled "Law Enforcement Shares Findings of the Investigation into the Washington Navy Yard Shootings," Aaron Alexis had my ELF weapon etched on the side of his weapon, with ELF being a reference to extremely low frequency. Back in 2014, Myron May committed a mass shooting at Florida State University. In a 2014 NBC News article titled "Shooter Myron May Feared Government Was Targeting Him, Cops," it states that Myron May suspected he was a target of government harassment and had references to targeted individuals on his Facebook account. It is also stated that May formed a group for every targeted individual who wants to pursue a class action lawsuit. Another NBC News article from 2014 titled "FSU Shooter Myron May Left Message, I Don't Want to Die in Vain," states that before his attack on Florida State University, he sent out a variety of communications discussing his harassment and torture, specifically referencing a direct energy weapon. The 2014 press release by the FBI Washington that was previously referenced dismisses Aaron Alexis's claims by labeling them a delusional belief, but based on my experiences of being defamed, harassed, stalked, and tortured in similar ways, both Aaron Alexis and Myron May were likely tortured and driven towards violence by whoever was using a remote torture device. And now someone is trying to push me towards violence using similar tactics. The harassment and torture is designed in a way that makes victims sound delusional when they try to explain what is happening, so the perpetrators can discredit the victims and continue to torture without fear of being put on trial. I don't have the equipment needed to determine what I'm being shot with, where I'm being shot from, and prove I'm being shot with a remote device, but here's what I know for sure. Your remote device can track movement and shoot through walls with high precision. The remote device has shot me and made me vibrate while I was away from home, implying it is portable, or there are multiple stationary devices that have been set up around the area. The device can be used to simulate sexual assault / rape. The device can generate vibrations in the human body and objects. The device can generate painful sensations which seem to be nerve-based. The device can generate painful muscle contractions. A visit to the emergency room where I had blood work done provided no potential causes. The torture occurs following the same pattern of other forms of harassment and sometimes at the same time as other forms of harassment. No household materials, metal, plastic, foam, wood, rubber, etc. are able to block whatever it is I'm being shot with. Based on my description, there is no known tech capable of doing this, which leads me to theorize that the device is a secret military weapon being distributed to local law enforcement and maybe neighborhood watches, or something was done to victims to make us vulnerable to whatever weapon is being used to torture us. Either way, the torture is occurring at times that follow the same pattern as the harassment, so I know that someone's using the device to cause these painful sensations. I've made reports to the FBI, Department of Justice, civil and human rights organizations, lawyers, and the United Nations, but they can't or won't do anything about it. Law enforcement and first responders have been involved in my harassment, and the United Nations seems to be complicit if not involved. This defamation, harassment, and torture program won't end unless victims start organizing, protesting, and stop allowing society to label us as delusional when we are being tortured into committing violence. Back when I was a student at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, false allegations were spread about me in secret, and I was relentlessly bullied by students, staff, and campus police, and had my life sabotaged in an attempt to groom me into committing violence at UNCG. And when that didn't work, I moved back home. Someone, likely law enforcement, spread lies about me around my local community and got people in my neighborhood, first responders, and local businesses to join in on harassment and torture. I can't expect or trust anyone other than myself to expose these crimes against humanity, and I will do so by any means necessary. Here are the sources.